Well, don't just sit around thinking about new action figures and how much they might cost. Let's talk about them. Yes, that's right. Grab your favorite snacks. Clothes are optional. If you want to save the money for more action figures, that's up to you, and go watch this episode without them. Run to the nearest screen, stick on YouTube, gather the family round as it's time for Flicks and Figs episode 50. Hurrah! And I always try and put a lot of work into these episodes, but Wolverine and Deadpool really want you to know the blood, sweat and tears, but mainly blood. That's gone into making this episode. You have to get your hands dirty gathering together. Action figure news. But thankfully, the rewards are great. And there's always something inspiring or exciting to share with you fine people regarding our plastic crack addiction. So without further ado, let's get on into it. So just like McFarlane the Killing Joke Joker here, you can use some of these blood effect kits will help add a new dimension to your action figure photography. Just look at Agent Venom here with all that symbiotic goo all coming out of him. And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content. And if you can smell what The Rock is cooking, we go to Eternia for a look at Waves 17 and 18 of Masterverse, the new Eternia line. And it includes a personal favourite of mine in Wave 17, Ninja. Now I just need Masterverse Rio Blast and I'm good to go. Which Masters of the Universe characters would you like to see done in the Masterverse New Eternia line? Let me know in the comments below.
And there have been a few monsters on Eternia, but we have them closer to home with Operation Monster Force. And this is a look at Wave 3 of Operation Monster Force, specifically Commander Gridiron, and the human head sculpt is based on the owner, I believe, of Gridiron Studios. But it's the gas mask monster head that really catches my eye with the red eyes. I think this is the one from Wave 3 I'm most drawn to. And Wave 3 should be available for pre-order from Kapow at some point. And the Gridiron Commander has no doubt hunted a few monsters in his time, and in the Operation Monster Force universe he fights alongside good guy vampires, and another good guy vampire is Frazetta Vampirella sculpted by Eamon O'Donoghue, and I don't know too much about Vampirella. I think she's from Coffin Comics from the 90s, help me out in the chat. And like Lady Death, she's an iconic pinup. And Loose Collector has done a version as well, I believe.
Thanks, Libby. And speaking of Loose Collector, if you want to see my review of Loose Collector Cabot Stone, essentially the distant relative of Cable, if you're nasty, check out my review and I'll leave a link in the comments below. And I have Blood Wolf on the way, who is sort of Deadpool meets Lobo, and they are fun 90s characters brought to life in action figure form, and my first Loose Collector figures. But what did I think? Well, click on the link below in the comments and find out.
And Commander Gridiron has probably fought werewolves before, such as the Kilowog the Bad Guy werewolf with the minigun, and keeping with the theme of werewolves, let's look at the NECA Howling Werewolf. And the Howling used to be shown on Channel 4 late at night in the 90s, and that's the Flicks part of Flicks and Figs. And typically with NECA, we get some lovely artwork of the Howling on the box flap, which opens to reveal the figure inside and all the accessories it comes with. And sticking with NECA, from werewolves to ghosts, we get a look at the Last Ronin Ghost Brothers of the Last Ronin Turtle, who, spoiler alert, is Michelangelo, and these look fun, and will round out your Last Ronin display just that little bit more.
And it's probably ironic we are looking at ghosts, as it's been a bit of a ghostly week. For action figure news, I had hoped episode 50 of Flicks and Figs would be a banger full of news. But it is the lead up to New York Toy Fair, so we no doubt have loads of news on the horizon, and the toy companies are likely holding back for that. So no doubt a New York Toy Fair Flicks and Figs special is on the cards in the future.
And no doubt one of the action figure lines that will be shown at Toy Fair will be G.I. Joe Classified, and we have a G.I. Joe Classified livestream in the middle of March, and Blowtorch will likely be one of the classified figures going up for pre-order. And here's the test shot of Blowtorch courtesy of Jakan 7, and of course Street Fighter featured in the original G.I. Joe toy line, and Storm Arena will be giving us Sagat and a few others from Alpha 3, more Street Fighter 3 Alpha to come.
And of course the Street Fighter characters featured in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And let's go over to Marvel now with a look at these custom Marvel Legends, based on the upcoming Fantastic Four MCU film, and they look so good, don't they? We will lucky if we get MCU Legends that are this good. But these were gathering a bit of attention online, so I thought I would include them here.
So what did you think of the Fantastic Four trailer? I personally thought it looked really good. I think it definitely captured the sense of family, but what the previous Fantastic Four films have missed is the sense of wonder, exploration, and adventure that the Fantastic Four comics were known for. The comics would often have the Fantastic Four in faraway dimensions such as the Negative Zone fighting Blastar or Annihilus. That's what a Fantastic Four movie needs to capture a sense of.
So would you like to see a Fantastic Four wave that was comic-based or MCU-based? We have of course had the retro card Fantastic Four figures. Here we technically have the Fantastic Three with Reed, Johnny and Herbie. I think the Fantastic Four would be great choices for the Maximum series, but that's perhaps a conversation for another day. So let me know what you're excited to see from the Fantastic Four movie and the Marvel Legends that will be coming as a result. And sticking with Marvel, here's a look at a great looking diorama behind Mafex Magneto, and it really caught my eye. This would be absolutely great for some toy photography. And sticking with Marvel, you can check out my video on the Gameverse Marvel Legends, link in the description below. Have you played the PlayStation Spider-Man games? If so, let me know which Spider-Man skins you play as, or which villains you would like as Marvel Legends. And sticking with heroes in general, we go from Marvel to My Hero Academia, and let's look at the Revoltech Mezco. And I know nothing about this character, but it's a testament to Revoltech how good they make their figures, as she looks so appealing. Great paint apps on the figure. If you have watched My Hero Academia and have a favorite character, apart from All Might I Know Him, let me know in the comments below, and also if a figure of your favorite character has been made.
Thanks Libby. And then sticking with anime style figures, from My Hero Academia to Dragon Ball Z, here's Goku in his monkey form. I think this is the form Saiyans take when there is a full moon, and he looks fun. We have had this version of Goku as a model kit, and I think in SHF in adult form, but this seems to be the child version. Well, let me know if you know about Goku in this form as a child in the comments below.
And from Super Saiyan monkey form Goku, we go to Berserk, another anime, but one with medieval violent tones, and this is the Skull Knight from Berserk, and it's a very imposing presence of a figure, the stuff nightmares are made of, but an excellent looking character, and presumably a character that's the main character encounters at some point in the story. And of course we just looked at Skull Knight from Berserk there, and keeping it with Ancient Swordsman, we jump from Berserk to Samurai, and in fact Samurai Jack, a samurai who fights an ancient demon who uses magic and transports him to the future. Now I've seen a few episodes of this cartoon and it's pretty good, pretty fun. And as always with action figure collecting, it's nice to get figure representation of media that you're enjoying or following.
And of course Samurai Jack was transported to the future, and let's head there now with a look at 1000 Toys Spartan from Halo Reach. Noble Leader, I'm seeing heat signatures ahead. Now I remember playing Halo 2 and it was excellent. The Warthog vehicle is something I'd again like to see in 6-inch vehicle form. I think McFarlane did one before, and 1000 Toys always do excellent figures. I have their Devil May Cry Dante and his great.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content.
And then sticking with video games, we got a look at Nina from Tekken, and this is a really solid looking figure, one that could easily fit in with some of your other lines like Classified or Valaverse, and I think we have had some Tekken characters before like King and Law. So this is a nice addition to that roundup.
And keeping it with video games, Storm Arena have put up their Alpha 3 Ryu, and it's another fantastic looking anime style figure as per the art style of Street Fighter Alpha 3, and of course Saga and Chun-Li and Dan and Charlie look like they are coming as per the start of the video. The prices of these are fantastic, and it's great we have Jada and Storm Arena going head to head for our hard-earned cash. Watch and learn, Hasbro. And speaking of Hasbro, and Marvel Legends in fact, you can of course pit your Jada Street Fighter or upcoming Storm Arena Street Fighter figures against your Marvel Legends. And speaking of Marvel Legends, for all the latest Marvel Legends news and reviews, check out Dan, who reviews. And all these other great YouTubers and international and UK action figure online stores. And Mini Plastic Multiverse on Instagram for his terrific toy photography. And I'll put a link to his Instagram in the comments below.
Thanks Mark. And as you can see from Kapow Toys to Blue Owl Collectibles, lots of great places to pre-order and purchase your action figures, and Link looks happy with all that information. Plenty of places for him to find companions for the collecting shelf. And Mini Plastic Multiverse has given us some great toy photography, and like Joker here you can jump into toy photography with many of the figures shown for pre-order here. And keeping it with DC, from McFarlane Joker to Mafex Aquaman, So again, this is a figure we have seen on Flicks and Figs before, but Mafex do a great job of making a quality Jason Momoa Aquaman figure. And keeping it with Mafex, let's go from Aquaman to Darth Vader. I suppose both of them probably aren't too fond of sand, and this is the OBWAN Darth Vader. OBWAN didn't kill Anakin, Vader did, and Vader is doing his Darth Maul impression here wielding dual lightsabers, so that's nice.
And from Darth Vader, who is mostly robot and upholds the Emperor's law across the galaxy, to a law-upholding robot and specifically the villains from RoboCop. JFS Toys' painted prototype of Emil from RoboCop is looking fantastic. And so this is the first portion of the Flicks and Figs part of the video, the flick being RoboCop. So you can have your naked RoboCop arrest Emil after he blows up a gas station diorama trying to escape. And then from police to military, we get a look at the Valaverse Zolocon Steel Brigade exclusive. And Zolocon will be on at the same time as Toy Fair. And no doubt I'll have a Flicks and Figs to cover both those events. And hopefully Valaverse and Props and Replicas have come to some form of agreement on getting Action Force to UK collectors. But I guess we will see. So this Steel Brigade has a VAC metal helmet. So let me know if you're attending Zolocon in the comments below, or if you will be watching all the figures unveiled at New York Toy Fair. Let me know. And they say the pen is mightier than the sword. And if you want to kill someone with a pencil, John Wick can advise how to make stationary lethal. And here's Mafex John Wick, I think from John Wick 4. So if you want Keanu Reeves' John Wick to be a badass in 6-inch action figure form, here you go! And of course John Wick had to come out of retirement and kill the little shits who originally wanted to buy his car. And speaking of cars, we get a look at the Batman v Superman Batmobile coming soon from McFarlane. And McFarlane can certainly crank out a few decent Batmobiles in the 1/10th scale, I'll give him that. And why stop at a Batmobile for a stylish mode of travel? Here's a look at the Mythic Legion's Dragon. It's going to cost around $550 in the US. I think they need 2,000 backers, so this will definitely be the centerpiece to any Mythic Legions collection. And here it is, breathing fire on some poor soul. And hopefully you have found this episode of Flicks and Figs fire. Let me know in the comments below. And from Dragons to Dreadnoks, here's a look at the G.I. Joe classified Cold Slither outfits for the Dreadnoks. And in this episode in the cartoon, their music hypnotized a few G.I. Joes, including Breaker, and courtesy of Jay Khan, we get a look at Mass Device Breaker, fresh from the factory floor. It's all going on! And shout out to Scotty at Blue Owl Collectibles. He told me that the guitar that comes Zartan, or maybe in this case Guitarton, is called a BC Rich Bitch. So that's Zartan's Rich Bitch.
And Breaker shown just now is a G.I. Joe expert in communication, and we get some communication in the form of a tease from Super 7 Ultimates for their 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder. And the 2003 Turtles will have double-jointed articulation, so that's nice. And Shredder is always decked out in knives and swords, and for more deadly weaponry Higher Toys is giving us a 1/12 Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so watch out.
So that's it. Many thanks for sticking with me through episode 50 of Flicks and Figs. Despite me saying that it was quiet in the build-up to Toy Fair in New York, there ended up being a few things to talk about. What caught your eye? What will you be pre-ordering? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, enjoy those Flicks and Figs.